Hey everybody, welcome to Monday Night Live in Lexington, you guys.
First of all, thank you all for being here as well. My name is Rachel Harrison. I'm the adult programming coordinator. Kathryn Kauffman. Miss Kathryn Kauffman, all the way from Lexington, joining us here tonight.
Good to see you all. Happy Monday, everybody. I apologize to you guys over here on Instagram because I tried to stream with my tablet again this week and it was doing the same thing, chop, 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 chop. So I just ditched it and grabbed my phone and we're streaming live on the phone right now. Hey to CG Dale, good to see you. Awesome to see you. So tonight, look at what we're talking about tonight. Tonight is open dream interpretation. Let's do some quick shout outs here. Hey to Melissa Begley and her wonderful psychic, Miss Cleo. Love you guys to death. Rita Fox, good to see you. And Ina Thompson, great to see you here. Leah Mead over here on Instagram. And a special shout out to my Monday buddy, Miss Joy Hall. Good to see you, Joy. It's always nice to see your name come up there. I love that. And I probably will just stream Instagram on my phone until I figure out what's wrong with this freaking tablet of mine. So a couple of housekeeping things. Right now, I've got posted links to tickets for the webinar, Advanced Psychic Protection. Now, if any of you guys have been like bothered with, and I just remembered to plug my microphone in, I'm so sorry. If any of you guys have been bothered with things that are disturbing your sleep, this is a technique you really, really need, because remember, when you're under anesthesia or when you're asleep, that's when you're most susceptible to psychic attack, to people that dream walk, to remote influencing, to demonic influence. So these are techniques that go way beyond just smudging. And I tried to make it really affordable. It's only $30. You get the downloadable PDF and you get a link to the online webinar. If you can't make it to the webinar, which is on June 7th at 7 p.m., it's okay. I'm saving the video link to the video webinar and you can get that for free and then watch it all you want. So let me look in the comments here. Special shout out to Rob Abbott. Blessings to you, guy. Oh, okay. I need to know if you guys can hear me on the Facebook feed. Let me check Facebook really quick on another window and see what's going on. Hey to KYGS Ryder and John Rowland. Good to see you guys. And this, you may get a little reverb on this as I'm checking it. Okay, Rob, I'm seeing the feed go by on the Facebook page, so you may want to update your phone or refresh or something, because I'm seeing the feed and I'm seeing myself on here. So that's awesome. Okay. Hey, McKay. Awesome to see you, Teresa Puckett, Christy Osborne Glass. Special shout out to Crystal Crazy and Barbara Bacon. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And Teresa Puckett, Dana Likens, and Chastity. Good to see you, Chastity. And Arthea Morgan. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys can see and hear me all right. Let's get rid of that and get on to the thing. Okay, so if you want to get in on the webinar, go to my page. There'll be links that you can find to the webinar event. And you just click those. You go over to Eventbrite, you grab a ticket, you get an email. It's got all your information on it. And I'm not going to release the PDF until a couple of days before the webinar. I will send it out a couple of days before the webinar because there's some extra little things I want to do to tweak it just a little bit better for you guys. And so you'll get the PDF like a couple of days right before the webinar. So let's talk about dreams, you guys. Let me check one thing. There was somebody who, so McKay says, normally when she misses her grandpa, I see him in my dreams. I've always felt it was his way of letting me know he is still with me. Now, important thing for you to know about that, McKay, is that is not a dream. That is what we call visitation, and they're much different than dreams. Visitations are how spirits communicate. The easiest with you is through the dreamscape, but it is an actual communication. It's an actual visitation. It's just done in the landscape of the dream. And so it's not a regular dream. Spirits communicate the best on theta wave, and that's part of your dream state. And so that's why it's easiest for them to enter your dream and give you a message. So those are actual visits from your grandpa, which is really wonderful and quite special. Okay, so let's see. So Ellie Lopez, greetings to you. Welcome to the show. Hey to Sandra Lee. And she says, I had a crazy, crazy dream the other night. Last Sunday night, I dreamed I had a blood infusion with tiger blood. Okay, so that's important. And here's the interpretation on that. Blood is your life force. And so what that dream is telling you is one of two things, and you're going to know by the feeling of which one is most correct for you. But it's either trying to tell you one of two things. The first thing is that your vital essence or your vitality is ebbing and it's low, and that's what, and like you need a boost or you need some vigor. The other thing it could be telling you is there may be something going on around you that's giving you that boost or vitality to your life force right now. So try to see what you feel that may mean for you and let us know. Hey to Paige Denise. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that. So Teresa says, I dream of my mom quite often. She has been gone 5 years. She's usually happy in the dream. Is there a reason that I would not dream about a set of grandparents? Yes, like I said, these are visitations. Now, in order to pull off a visitation, we have to have two things happen. We have to have a person who has latent abilities like yourself, Teresa, and you have to have the sender or the spirit has to be advanced enough to actually know how to enter the dream and give the message. So your mom is pretty adept at doing that, and she can, come into your dream and give you messages quite frequently. Now, the grandparents may be another thing, and that may be, a generational thing. Maybe in their lifetime, they were not as open to things like this, and they are just naturally blocking that ability. Another thing that can happen is that if a person is reincarnated and they're currently in a living life force at the moment, they're not available for a visitation. So it could be one of those two things. Let us know what you think. Maybe they're not able to get you the message because of their energy circumstances, or maybe they've been reincarnated. Love you too, Rob. Dana says, I have dreams where I'm on the beach with my best friend's mother. She gives me messages to tell her. My best friend never has dreams like that. Why does she visit me but not her? Okay, so a couple of things. Like I was saying earlier, in order for a spirit to visit, they have to have your brain waves need to be in theta wave during the visitation. Special shout out over here on Instagram to my son, Michael Lawrence. I love you very much. Shout out to Diane Carnival. And let's see if there's anybody else. Okay, gotcha. Let me do some quick waves to you guys. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. And if you have any questions or you want to present a dream for me to interpret, feel free. The screen actually on my phone for Instagram is a little bit larger than the tablet, so I probably will just do this from now on. So back to Dana's question. Why does she visit you and not her own? It's because you're, number one, you probably have better abilities than your best friend. Number two, your brain waves probably stay in theta wave longer for her to get a message through to you rather than your best friend. Some people, when they go to sleep, they go straight from alpha into delta. And some people linger in theta wave for quite a while before they shift to delta wave. A delta wave is a very deep, unconscious sleep. Theta wave is a deep trance-like kind of brain wave. That's the brain wave that spirits use specifically for visitations. And the thing is, you have to be in that brain wave long enough for them to get a message through to you in the dream. So one thing, Dana, that your friend could do is maybe theta wave binaural beats right before she goes to bed. And that way it puts her brain waves right in the state where they need to be, so that she might be able to get a visitation. But many times people don't get visitations strictly because they either don't have enough, or they haven't practiced enough on their abilities, or they don't stay in theta wave long enough for that spirit to interject a dream. So Rob says she's close to the situation and would get upset feeling or knowing. That's true too. Because that person's intuition, if they're too close to it, is an automatic block, and they can like automatically block that energy from coming in. So Ollie says, I dreamed of a presence and trying to get out of a person's home. Then it felt like it came home with me. Then my pastor was praying over me using some stone to take the evil spirits away. Let me look at all of that. So you were dreaming of a presence trying to get out of a person's home. And it felt like, okay, so Ollie, that's probably, you picked up an attachment somewhere. And you're probably pretty empathic. Usually empaths are pretty quick to pick up attachments, and really bad places for empaths to go for attachments are hospitals, nursing homes, graveyards, any place where there's a lot of portals for people coming and going as they pass. Are bad places. You know, if you go ghost hunting, that's another place you can pick up an attachment. It's probably your subconscious communicating to you that you need a cleansing done. And having an attachment is it's not a great thing, but empaths get this a lot. So a couple of things you can do, Ollie. You can certainly have your pastor pray for you to remove the attachment. You can do a self-cleansing at home. You can have a Reiki energy worker remove the attachment for you. One of the best things I suggest people do to get rid of attachments is to visit your acupuncturist. They're probably the best at removing extra energy from your energy field. And so that's, certainly also working with gemstones, because in your thing you mentioned that the pastor is using a stone to take the evil spirit away. Gemstones are great to do that. And if Barbara Bacon is still on the feed, maybe she can suggest a few for you and give her contact information. Here's a number to call to get the answer to what kind of gemstone you need to remove an attachment. This is the name and number to call, and she would be more than happy to help you with that. So that's the number, and I'll put it up again before the end of the show, but maybe Barbara can comment in the feed and let us know what things are good. I use black tourmaline, black obsidian, Jet's one of the best ones to remove anything like that. It's a wonderful stone to use. Excuse me. Okay. Hey to Laura. So Laura says, I've had several dreams where someone I know has passed, and in my dream I have to tell them they're dead and to move on. Oh yeah, been there, done that many, many times. That is because you probably have, if you don't already know it, Laura, you probably have latent or active medium abilities, and they will seek you out and find you if they're in a confused state, or because sometimes people who passed on, it feels like it's a dream to them and they're not quite sure if they're dead or not. And so that's just something that goes with being a medium. And, unless you want to really block them out and not deal with that, but it sounds like that you're doing them a really good service by telling them that they need to move on, because that's sort of the best thing that they can do at that point. So Lana says, hello from Charleston. Hey. Oh, so you guys are on curfew out there. Well, try to stay safe and have a good time while you're there if you can. So let's see if we have a special shout out to Jackie Brown in Las Vegas. Good to see you on the feed tonight. So Teresa says, I dreamed last night that I was told I had 2 weeks to live. What am I to make of that? Okay, so I need more information on that. So give me the setting, Teresa. Like, where were you and who was saying it? And then I can give you an interpretation on that. Hey, to Jessica, and she says, a lot of my family have come to me, but not the one I want, my sweet grandma. Okay, so this kind of goes back to what somebody else was asking earlier as well. Either your grandmother doesn't have the intuitive ability to communicate in the dream, or she may be reincarnated. And this is actually something that, like, people are having trouble connecting with the generation before the parents. And so my feeling is that these spirits have been reincarnated, and so they're in a living body right now, and so that cuts that connection off. But here's the thing, you can use remote viewing and still connect with their essence wherever they are in the world. So you have to really practice sort of remote viewing to hone in on and tune in to where their essence is currently incarnated. So Love You Mom says, my mom used to come to me in my dreams, but not so much that I can remember. My name is Tom. Hey, Tom, good to see you. Now, here's something that may benefit you, Tom. You have to be in theta wave to get that communication, okay? In order to do that, like, let's say you're having a lot of stress right now because of COVID-19, and, maybe your job is affected. That's going to affect your brain waves, and it's going to elevate them past the point of communication. So what you need to do is do some meditations for theta wave right before you go to bed. And that way, that puts you, and then you also want to communicate with her and tell her, I'm waiting and I'm ready for you to give me a message, and I need for you to give me a message. Do this consistently, and you will get a visitation from her. It may take a month, but it's sometimes for spirits, the energy has to be just exactly right for them to get a visitation through. And what I mean by that is there has to be enough energy in the environment for them to do the visitation. So it could be that you may have to wait till the next full moon or the next new moon for there to be enough energy in the environment to produce a visitation. Special shout out to Tia Von Hell. Good to see you. Awesome to see you. And shout out to M. Brenda on Instagram. Great to see you guys. Okay, let's go back to Facebook and the feed over here. So Melissa says, irrelevant. Nothing's irrelevant on this show, Melissa. But I've successfully programmed my beautiful large amethyst to request a visitation. No, that is relevant. So far, spirit guides have presented themselves awakening me. That is awesome. Crystal, purchase your amethyst, I'm assuming, from Crystal Crazy and Barb Bacon. That is awesome. So Ina says, do you just request a cleansing of your energy field from an acupuncturist? Yes. And who I refer to in Lexington, I only refer to Blue Lotus Acupuncture. And they do have some office hours in Berea, I think once a week, and I think it's on Wednesday, and that will be on the scheduler. But they're used to dealing with my clients, and so like when you go in there, you can tell them whatever you need to. They're used to dealing with that. So what the acupuncturist will do is to assess your energy field from top to bottom and see if there's anything extra there. And then they can go about removing that extra energy source from you. Acupuncturists are experts at the human energy field. They are the top of the human energy field. It's acupuncturists and then Reiki practitioners right under that. And they may even go hand in hand sometimes. So, you know, if you don't have an acupuncturist in your area, get to a Reiki master and have them help you remove whatever's there. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. So Barbara has suggested Smoky Quartz. That's another really great one to use for removing attachments. Rob says repetitive dreams about kittens being torn into pieces in the weirdest background setting. Okay, so tell me what the background setting is. And when we think of kittens, Rob, that is symbolic for innocence. And so there's maybe some aspect of your life that was innocent. It's not now, and it's being torn apart. And so you have to look at the things that are going on in the world right now. Maybe there was a thought about the way things were that's being torn apart. I know with the things that are happening for me right now, it's I'm very disappointed in our human species. I'll just say that. I'm very disappointed in our species. So Teresa says she was at a hospital, told I had a blood disease. I believe that my middle daughter was with me. So that is one of your spirit guides trying to alert you to get something taken care of. And when they're referring to a blood disease, that could be a multitude of things. It can be an immunosuppression type of problem or some kind of immune system problem. It could be that maybe you're low on your blood counts. Maybe there's a blood pressure issue, Teresa. But what it's referring to is if you don't take care of this, this could end your life. So you're not going to die, but you need to go take care of it, okay? It's an early warning system that something's not right and you need to pay attention to it because like during the day, you may get feelings and you may get thoughts that go on in your head, like, oh, I really should get this taken looked at, or maybe I feel like something's wrong, or maybe I feel like I'm too tired lately. And you know how we are. We are the worst patients. We just blow it off and keep going on when we shouldn't, when we should pay attention. We should go to the doctor and say, look, I've been feeling tired. Let's do some blood work and find out if there's anything happening here. So Christy says, here's a good one. Oh, Lordy. I had a dream that I was changing a baby's diaper. I kept wiping, but the baby kept pooping, very soft poop. As I was wiping, I looked up on her leg and there was a small slit near her knee. When I pushed on the slit, a small black seed came out. When I looked to her right leg, there were small bumps on her leg as if seeds were right under the skin, and then I woke up. Okay, so that means it's, I hate to say this, but it's continual shit. It's like it's something continuous that's happening. And the thing is that because it's continuously happening, you don't get a break. And so that's the seed that's growing. And the seed may be resentment, but because it's black, it's negative. So there's something negative that's going to start growing within the person if you don't handle and stop the constant shit from flowing. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. So Rob says, thank you. You know, got me emotional. I'm so sorry, honey. But it's true, and we're just, you know, all we can do as a human species is do the best we can and keep going and hope that everybody can fall in line and do the best that they know how to do too. So hey to Jessica. And she says 3 cardinals fly past me as I'm watching this video circling. So Jessica, that is somebody who's passed on influencing those little birds to get your attention. Now, people will ask me the same question a lot. If a bird flies up to you and it's acting funny, or it's a cardinal, or maybe even a bluebird or a goldfinch, and it gets your attention, what's happening is the person who's passed on is influencing the magnetic field within the bird's brain and making it either act strangely or fly in a strange way or come right up to you in order to get your attention so that you pay attention and you notice, and then they connect with your thoughts and put the thought there that this is them. So that's sort of like a calling card saying, hey, pay attention, I am here. So Christy says, so Dana says, that's awesome way to explain it. It is what it is. So so Christy says, dream question, do all dreams have meaning? Some way, shape, or form, they pretty much all do have some kind of meaning, because it's the only time that your subconscious, besides through gut feeling, is really allowed to communicate with you, unless you know how to meditate very adeptly. Statistics prove that your ability to problem solve doubles in alpha wave. And the reason it doubles when your brain waves are in alpha is because you have access to subconscious information. Not a lot, but some. And so that increases your ability to problem solve times 2. Another fascinating thing about your brainwaves is, let's say, for example, if you meditate in delta wave, which classically is unconscious sleep, but you can be in a delta wave and be awake while you're meditating. And when you're in delta wave, when you're awake, your memory capacity and your memory recall triple. Now, that's phenomenal for people who are in school. And so if you want to utilize these things, I highly recommend you look up binaural beats on YouTube. They're all free videos. You have to wear earbuds to listen, or the technique will not work. And what it does is it entrains your brainwave. It synchronizes your brainwave to the amplitude that you desire. So let's say for the week, I want to problem solve better because I got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm going to do binaural beats for problem solving and creativity. And those are all on YouTube. If I am studying something and I want to retain the information and recall it better, I'm going to do binaural beats for delta wave so that I can recall everything I need to. So Ina says, love hearing about the birds. The day after my oldest sister's funeral, 2 female cardinals landed on my deck and kept looking in my dining room door. That's awesome. My mom loved cardinals, so it felt like it was my mom and sister visiting, made me special and loved. Okay, Ina, that's an important thing, what you just said. There were 2, okay? One felt like your mom, the other one felt like your sister. Remember I said the only time you get to communicate with your subconscious is through gut feeling and dreams or meditation. So when you got that feeling that that was them, that's them actually communicating that who they are through your subconscious. So when you say, I feel, what you're doing is you're using that ability, empathic gut feeling. And that's where they can communicate that information to you. All right, guys and girls, our time is up. We'll do this again. Every now and then I like to do dream interpretation, open dream interpretation. I may start doing it once a month for you guys because it seems like there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of stuff on here. Let me put up Barbara Bacon's contact information again before we hop off of here. Again, for you guys, if you really like the shows on Monday night, please, please do me a huge favor. Hit the share button on the bottom of your screen and share this out in your news feed. That really helps the show a lot. Another thing that you can do to help us out is to go onto my YouTube channel where all of the past shows are. It's just under Kathryn Kauffman, and I'll leave a link in the comments. But subscribe to the YouTube channel and, go through the Monday night playlist. Find some videos that you really like, share them to Facebook, send them to your friends if you think that there's information on there that could really benefit them. That is the biggest thing that you could do to help out. And then also, for those of you that are watching and you want the Advanced Psychic Protection webinar, it's coming up June 9th at 7 p.m. If you can't make it to the webinar, it's going to be recorded, and you're going to get the link to the webinar video and a downloadable PDF that you can share, use, keep. The links are going to be on my Facebook page to the Eventbrite tickets, and they're only $30. I made them super cheap. So thanks, guys, for watching tonight. And as always, I will see you on the flip side next Monday. The reason I did open and dream interpretation tonight is because next Monday night, if I can pull it off, is going to be, do spirits have sex in the afterlife? I've gotten that question a lot, so I have to do a show on it. Do spirits have sex in the afterlife? Well, we'll find out, won't we? Kisses from Kentucky, and I will see you guys next Monday night. Next Friday, I got to have some medical procedures done. Hopefully, I will feel better enough on Monday night to do the show. Watch for postings. I think I will be okay, though. See you later. Have a good week.